Hi guys, this is Frankie Torres for the Pixel Slayers here
And
with.
oh yeah, and I am Zeri Torres.
Alrighty, so today we're doing something new. This is the very first video of our new series. What are we calling it?
Mag
There
Archives?
we go, Mag Archives. We're
Yeah.
starting out with an old Nintendo Power, volume 23, so this would be like, I'm guessing 91 maybe?
I know, I was surprised they don't have the date on the cover. I kept looking for it.
Yeah, this is 1991 because I believe the magazine came out in 1999, 1989, and this would be 2 years after that almost.
We've got a collection of about 20 of these. This is the oldest one we had, so we figured we'd start out with this one.
Yeah, first thing I'm just really amazed it was $3.50 back then because that's like $7, and magazines now only cost like $5.99, so that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, for inflation and all that.
Yeah, but anyways, this is the cover. It looks like they're talking about Power Blade, which that totally did well, didn't it?
Honestly, I don't even know what it is. Do you know what it is, Frankie?
Not off the top of my head. And then the Game Boy special section. I guess this is when the Game Boy came out.
Yeah.
And then Super Hits Monopoly, because that's a super hit, and some other games that everybody knows about. So let's open this baby up.
Okay.
So
wow,
it
check
looks
out
like
that.
part of a poster. Looks like it says,
Unmask the power animal in you.
and it says flip down to unmask.
Wow.
And that's the top of the poster.
That is very early 90s. That almost looks like,
It's radical.
oh god, what's his name? Billy Idol. And he kind of looks like a teenage Billy Idol.
Okay, so I guess this is your answer to the expensive cost of the magazine. You can get a year for $15. That's definitely the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're back in 1989 watching this video somehow using your time machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is an old school subscription card back when you would mail that in. And yeah, this is definitely 89. He's holding an NES controller.
Yeah.
There is no Super Nintendo yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Volume 23, April 1991. I am 1 year old.
See, I told you it was 291. I guess, see, I know my
You
stuff.
said 89.
No, I said 89 is when the magazine came out.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Super Nintendo will be coming out in a few months. First thing we have is Powerline. It's just basically, it's basically a letter from the editor. And then here's your contents. Yeah, just basically telling you what's going on. And yeah, Power Blade. They're really hyping up Power Blade.
Totally red.
Yeah, none of these have really aged well. Looking at the Game Boy games, we got Sword of Hope, Ultima, which, oh man, playing that on a Game Boy. R-Type, Mickey's Dangerous Chase, WWF, Pac-Man, and Caesar's Palace. So yeah, just basically, if you want to read this more in detail, go ahead and pause the video. So we have the fan mail, which, wow, look at these.
Game Boy is hot in the desert.
Yeah, this is going on during the first Iraq War in the early 90s, so it's showing people who are in Iraq basically playing their Game Boys. And
I wonder if this was before the one that got bombed. Like, there was a Game Boy, I don't know if any of you have seen this, a Game Boy that survived a bomb, like a bombing, and it still works.
yeah, it's crazy. That thing is like solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just really talking about the war. That was a big deal going on back then. Mm-hmm. And there's Mario having a party, really happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, Nintendo jokes. Oh god.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Why did Mario cross the road? Because he couldn't find a warp zone. Mm-hmm.
Power Blade. Oh my god, look at this guy.
Oh my god.
That's like, what is that dude?
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage is what I thought of, but I also think of that Van Damme dude.
Oh, I don't know.
You know who Van Damme is. Everybody knows
Oh,
Van
Van Damme. I thought you said Dan Dan.
Van Damme.
What? Is he from Duran Duran?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Van Damme.
So yeah, basically, just talking about the abilities of this game. I'm guessing this is just like a Nintendo published game that came out. Oh no, it's a Taito game. Obviously, this game did not do that well.
We're gonna get 50 Power Blade fans in our comments saying, "What?"
Yeah, we got the Sector 1. So basically, it's just going through the whole game, telling you about, the different levels and stuff.
A lot of Nintendo Powers did this, didn't they? I never had a subscription, so...
Yeah, one of the biggest draws to Nintendo Power is it would actually help you figure out how to play the game, because a lot of those NES games weren't so straightforward, so you would have to get the Nintendo Power to figure out what you're doing because there was no internet to go to.
Yeah, and this was also before strategy guides were really big, right? Like Prima.
Yeah, I think Nintendo was kind of releasing their own at the time, but
Uh-huh.
I don't think Prima even existed back then. But I could
Yeah.
be wrong. I haven't looked it up.
Which I heard they were going out of business soon. R.I.P.
Yeah.
And so many Prima strategy guides. I love strategy guides. Just, oh,
I like this weird bug guy.
Sector 4 go.
It's like a bug robot thing.
Yeah, why not?
It's cute. Like I said, if you want to look over this, or if you have Power Blade and you want to use this to get through it,
Oh, yeah.
feel free to pause the video.
Yeah.
We're not going to spend too much time on this Power Blade guide.
And honestly, this could be a good game. It's just that we know quite a bit about video games and we've never heard of it. So
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised, but hey. Oh, what
Here we
the
go.
heck is
This is the classic Nestor comics. They always had these comics in Nintendo Power. I think later on they moved them to the end of the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's just like a really cheesy comic. You could pause it. I'm gonna leave this open. And if you want to read the comic, go ahead and just pause it, and you can
Yes.
read this wonderful
It's
comic.
high quality.
It
They all look like Dick Tracy.
Yeah, it actually has a fan base because like it's a classic. Don't talk bad about it.
Did they always look like Dick Tracy?
It's kind of the style, yeah. I think you think he looks like Dick Tracy because he's wearing a Dick Tracy outfit.
Well, yeah. That's a good logic, chain there. Subscription bonus.
Wow, so if you subscribe, you get a player's guidebook. That's great.
NES Game Atlas.
Mm.
Ooh, more details to come. I'm excited.
So really advertising the perks of subscribing, and then
Oh, good, totally rad. This is the part I wanted, even though I don't know what is in it. I just, oh my gosh, and that font. Oh, love it.
one thing I haven't noticed so far is there's not a whole lot of advertisements,
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
but there is a lot of guides, which is pretty nifty.
And I mean, technically, you could say this whole magazine's an advertisement.
And honestly, if say you got totally rad for Christmas one year and you didn't know how to play it, this would be worth the money. Spend $4 and get a magazine to read, but also figure out how to play your game. I could see why they got away with charging as much as they did back then for these.
In just a second, I want to edge this over this way just a smidge. Fang of the Underworld. Wow. Ooh,
Here we go.
Oh, classified. Don't look, it's classified.
Yeah, these are the cheat codes for various different games.
Hey, we still need to play that.
I know.
We recently bought a copy of that. We haven't played it
Yeah,
yet.
we just picked this up. We're gonna do a video on it eventually, but
Yeah, we got distracted by Smash.
but now we have we know what to do
Oh, we got the stage select go.
thanks to Nintendo Power.
Thanks, Nintendo Power.
Silver Surfer, Dragon Warrior.
Ooh, Shadow of the Ninja.
Swordmaster.
The Duel of Destiny. Wow, I'm really surprised how much of this is just walkthroughs.
It's a pretty good value in my opinion,
Oh, yes.
considering how much guidebooks cost. Granted, the guidebooks are a lot more in depth, but this is pretty detailed.
Well, and they cram a lot of text. Like, look how small that text is. They really cram it in there.
Yeah, they do a great job with these. I can see why people paid as much as they did. Now, this is the British invasion. Talking about English
Ooh.
developers.
It was Rare around at this point?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I wonder if they mention... Oh, yep. Number 8, Rare.
And then Argonaut Software, which Star Fox and they developed. They basically helped with this. What is that chip?
Oh, the Super Nintendo chip?
Well, there's multiple ones, but they helped with
Yeah.
one of them. Yeah, so
And Psygnosis.
yeah, which
Oh,
Lemmings.
I'm a big Lemmings fan.
Yeah,
I didn't know that they were British developers.
yeah. Sony bought them, and
Oh, and Ocean.
Ocean Software.
They did a lot of film games, like games based on films, right?
They had a lot of licenses, but
Yeah, I guess that's a better way to say that. I just remember having the Jurassic Park Game Boy game, and it always did it.
so yeah, talking about Rare, and this is before I believe Nintendo owned a majority of them.
Yeah.
Well before Donkey Kong Country.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys look awesome.
Oh yeah.
Scat.
Keep moving this way.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm doing the best I can.
I would love if Scat was just like a jazz scat singing game.
Yeah, that would make it so much better.
Sigourney? Is anyone named Sigourney other than Sigourney Weaver?
Maybe it's based off of her.
It could be. Special Cybernetic Attack Team.
Yeah, this game looks interesting.
Ooh, we get the fold out. Ooh, baby.
Wow, oh my god, I love this. I'm trying to get this on camera.
Yeah, we're gonna need a... Wow,
It's SimCity
check that out.
Poster.
Yeah, you don't need Playboy for good fold outs. You need Nintendo Power. That is awesome. If this wasn't like... If I wasn't trying to retain this thing's collector's value, I would hang that on my wall.
Well, not only that, but this is before the Super Nintendo came out, and they're advertising SimCity.
Yeah, let me get another view of that. Let me close it up. That is nifty, nifty, nifty. Let me reposition this. Special feature Game Boy. Yeah, that was the Game Boy. I still have our big boy Game Boy.
Yeah, the Game Boy was about 2 years old at this point, or almost 2, like a year and a half. And basically where the Switch is now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In its life span.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that 1990s, like...
Oh, yeah. And that
wonderful.
gray color, yeah.
So yeah, basically going over a couple of the bigger releases of the spring in 91.
Sword of Hope.
Yeah, this is another walkthrough. Once again, feel free to pause. Ultima, the PC classic, comes to the Game Boy.
Oh, wow.
Because, everybody wanted that. But it actually kind of looks like more like I don't know. Like, imagine playing that on a little Game Boy screen. I don't know about that.
With no backlight.
Oh, gosh.
So many road trips just angling towards the sun.
Well, what I used to do was when there was daylight, I would play the Game Boy, and then if we were driving at nighttime, I'd switch to the Game Gear.
Oh, well, I didn't have a Game
Well, you should have had a Game Gear.
I have one of those reflector things. Well, not reflector, magnifying screen things that you put over it. I didn't even know they had an R-Type for Game Boy before this.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of some of the Super Mario Land levels from in the middle of the game. There were some levels where you're in a car. It kind of looks like that,
Okay.
but I know it's not. But
Heck,
yeah.
I might look for that. I like R-Type.
Mickey's Dangerous Chase.
Oh.
Buy my game.
Oh no, where's Minnie's present?
Oh no. All right, that's enough of that. Wow, Pete looks really creepy in this. Superstars, WWF Superstars.
Before it was WWE.
Look at those sprites. Look how bad those look.
Yeah.
Like, it almost looks like Game & Watch.
I am living for this picture right here. Yes.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and just switch the page there. Pac-Man, which surprisingly, it doesn't look like there's much scrolling. They have the scrolling, they actually fit the whole thing on the screen, which was pretty nifty, but...
I wonder if you can pick the option to have scrolling versus,
I need to pick up this game. This game's, like, always so cheap. It's just, like, who wants to play Pac-Man on a Game Boy, but I don't know.
Oh, Caesar's Palace. So this looks a lot like the NES version, which my dearly departed great-aunt Mary, shout out to great-aunt Mary, had an NES. All she had was Mario 3 and Caesar's Palace. And that game looks a lot like the NES Caesar's Palace. She loved her Caesar's Palace.
This is the counselor's corner, so if you're not feeling good with your gameplay, you can, Nintendo Power will walk you through some steps to make your gameplay better.
Wow.
So how's your gameplay today? Apparently, they're working through some Final Fantasy Legend.
Mm-hmm.
And then now playing, they're talking about the, basically the reviews, the review scores, I guess. I'm thinking maybe, possibly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are those, and they're coming soon. So it looks like next month we got Mega Man, and then Faceball 2000. That sounds...
Baseball.
That sounds terrible.
face ball.
Real quick, I just want to look at this top 10 list a little bit more closely. Number 1, obviously, Super Mario Land. That thing was like top 10 for a long time.
Well, it came with the Game Boy, didn't it?
No, Tetris did originally. I think eventually it did, though.
Yeah, like a later bonus.
There's the Batman game you just beat.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
Castlevania, Dr. Mario, Double Dragon, Final Fantasy Legend. Monopoly.
Oh, yeah, action video Monopoly.
Whoopie-doo.
We have both the we've got Super Nintendo Monopoly, Game Boy Monopoly, and PlayStation 1 Monopoly. We are cool.
Monopoly is like my favorite board game, so...
Oh, yeah, because you beat me every damn time.
I beat everybody.
I miss my shirt.
It's amazing that they went through such a detailed walkthrough when it comes to playing Monopoly. Like, really?
Well, I wonder what the history was at this point of board games being made into video games. Like, was that just sort of...
I think it started in the late 80s. I know there was a lot of them. Parker Brothers used to be a developer. They used to develop for the Atari, and then they developed a little bit for the Master System, and they had the rights, so I think that might have something to do with them introducing their own IPs to the video game world, and I think that kind of started it.
Okay.
Anyways, NES Achievers, so these would be...
Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout. My coworker went on a very long rant on how much he hates that game.
Yeah, so did the Angry Game Nerd.
Oh, yeah.
That was like one of his early videos I really enjoyed.
Oh, original Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I beat that on... It was the Game Boy Advanced version that came with 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls, I think. Oh, man. They
just take their... Oh, I see. They actually have to take a picture of them beating the game.
And send it?
And send it.
Oh, my gosh.
So they'd probably end up spending like $5 back in the day just to tell them, hey, look, I beat this game.
Mm-hmm.
Counselor's Corner.
Again.
Mm-hmm. The Immortal. I don't even know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny of Emperor. Look at these guys. Is that Iron Man shirt? No, that's not Iron Man shirt.
No. Save something.
That dude's hair is so, like, dated. That dude's hair. Oh, my gosh. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the adventure one. The adventure game, the first one they released.
Is that one any good?
No.
Oh.
No. Star Tropics. It's a rare game, I believe. Isn't it? I believe it is. I could be wrong. Yell at me if I'm wrong.
Nicely. Yell at us and just write it in caps. It's like yelling.
Players poll contest. So you actually have this little poll thing you have to send. They don't even pay for your postage. You have to pay for your own postage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and this is back when they were in Redmond, Washington, which I think they're still in Washington, but I don't know. They moved a while back, but wow.
Well, I mean, Nintendo Power's not around anymore, right?
No, but it was ran out of their office.
Oh my god, I want that shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
What's first prize again?
Win a trip to a NASCAR race. I'd rather have the shirt.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the shirt too. Yeah, I don't really want to go to a NASCAR race. Top 30. Mario Brothers 3. Oh my gosh, that game. Well deserved.
14 months.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Then you have Mega Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
OG Final Fantasy.
Dr. Mario, Dragon Wario. I'm not going to read the whole list. You can read it.
Now I'm going to get the Dr. Mario song in our head.
Shh. So you just you read that real quick. Look at these weird alligators eating these people.
Is that supposed to be like Pitfall?
No.
He's swinging on a rope.
I don't know what it is.
I mean...
Players' picks. So this must be what's basically popular in their community.
Yeah.
Double Dragon 3.
There's
Power
some sort of
player
weird
tip.
point system for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, dealers. So that's... Oh, dealers picks me. I don't know what's happening.
Don't worry about it. I don't have time for that.
The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's the Bart versus Space Mutants.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Just give me the arcade one. The arcade one can't be beat.
Oh man, arcade one up. I want the Simpsons.
Yeah.
And X-Men.
Yes. And the 360/PS3 one It's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't really played it all the way through yet.
The Uninvited.
Ooh, the graphics on that skull, that's pretty freaky.
Do, do, do.
That would have scared me when I was 4.
So, still no ads.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised.
Vice Project Doom. How about that?
Oh, a look into the future of NES game packs. Ooh. Battletoads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm skipping a page here.
Blapper bonus.
Blah, 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 blah.
Final Fantasy 2. Oh, yep. And they even admit it here. It'll be based on the Japanese Final Fantasy 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm really curious about this celebrity profile.
You know what's one thing I'm surprised in this magazine that wasn't hardly mentioned with the exception of that SimCity poster? Super NES. It was coming out like in 6 months and they really didn't talk about it very much.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Really pushing their current gen systems back then.
Yeah.
So who is Jeremy Miller?
I honestly don't know. But he looks like... looks like early 90s girls would find him attractive, probably.
And parents didn't find him...
threatening. Like Lisa Simpson's non-threatening teenage boys magazine.
I guess he was in Different Strokes, Punky Brewster, and Charles in Charge.
Okay.
Yeah, before my time. And honestly, Charles in Charge used to be like syndicated when I was a kid. I always thought it looked so stupid.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. About that celebrity profile.
Yeah. That sure was a profile.
Bulletin boards. Talking about their back issues here. Special set offer. I guess you could order the back issues.
Illegal imports are risky buys.
No, they're not. This is back when Nintendo basically was trying to say, don't import the SNES. Don't import it. Wait for it to come out here. This is such BS. This whole thing is such like nonsense. This is back when Nintendo was like, I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means either, but I get it.
That's
somehow.
All that matters.
Inherently, psychically.
Reviews coming next month. Battletoads a comic. Lone Ranger, some Gauntlet 2. Now more Gauntlet-y. Even though it's less Gauntlet-y because it's on a Game Boy.
Yeah.
And the Dear Leaders.
Is that like a casually dressed Princess Peach?
Looks like it.
I guess.
And in the back, which don't look at this address, even though they
most likely do not live there anymore, but we'll blur it out anyways. Don't move it so much. I need to put the blur in.
So many complaints from the editor. Well, this has been the first installment of our new mag archives. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for more great content. Bye.
Bye.